Another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I'm your host, Edward Anderson. The Black Tape Edition light, I guess, right now, because I ain't got that tape all the way on. But we'll deal with it. So, um, it's been a minute since I had one of these live streams. So we're gonna have a quick conversation. Y'all gather in here. Two topics we're gonna talk about is we're gonna talk about Glorilla going to the White House. I shared a video of a woman that I've been, I don't listen to her stuff like that, but I catch it, when it's nothing else, and she's solid, and she's actually growing pretty quick. She's actually gaining momentum. And she was just at I think. No, she wasn't just at 10, maybe 20, whatever. So kudos to her. She got that kind of auntie vibe, checks these chicks when they operating like they ain't got no goddamn sense. But whatever. That's the only video I see of that so far. So I shared Kevin from Black Men Being Brutally Honest. By the way, I share what I share. Any of y'all got opinions, don't come in here with that. Yeah, man, we need to share more men. We need to do no, we need to do it. It's my fucking channel, number one. And number two, I share more people than anybody in this fucking space. As far as pound for pound, nobody shares as many people as I do in this space. Pound for pound. It's not even close. Unless you're somebody let's say Angry Man or somebody, where if you share somebody's channel, because how big the channel is, this channel is, obviously it's gonna have more weight, or even BGS. Let's be real. I share more people, so when dudes come in here, I already know that they don't know about me when they do that. They just doing that, saying some random stuff. But if you go to my community tab, I'm sharing a lot of different people, and and usually it's brothers, and usually it's smaller channels too. So, and BGS is another person. We have that culture in our side of the sector of actually promoting stuff. So anybody saying that dumb shit to me or trying to come at me with why you share, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give a fuck who you listen to. I don't give a fuck who you listen to and who your favorite content, because a lot of y'all, what happens is y'all will listen to certain content creators, some of which I'm cool with for the most part. And y'all will hear them say whatever they say about it should be men only, or this is that, or whatever. Oh, they really painted that motherfucker? They must have did that in the middle of the night. Oh, okay, it's on a remodel, okay. And then y'all will come in, y'all will get hyped up. Y'all be like Muad'Dib and Dune. Y'all be in the crowd and y'all get hyped up, and then y'all come to other people talking about what they should do in accordance to your favorite YouTuber. Don't do that. Not on that topic. I wouldn't even say I don't like to use that term, I put on people, because I don't like to use that term. What I do is I try to be a good, what do you want to call them, a peer. And also I do it because it helps y'all. Part of, I think, when we have a quote, what the point of having a quote unquote space is, for you all to be able to connect to other people in the space, especially people that we may be like-minded on some things, not everything. And generally, more people that are like-minded are going to be more people I share. But also, there's people that can say the same things, but they have a different background. So them having a different background, and people want to say, oh, it's because how I sound, oh, it's because I'm light-skinned, oh, you ain't see me with no bitch, then I'll share people that you can't say that with. Case in being, because there's only certain things I'm willing to share. I'm not about to sit here and shout out to Nate with the $10 super chat, super sticker. Nate is another guy, Nate is somebody that he has been, for the most part, select, and he's kind of speaking on that, and kind of what comes with that and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, we have a diverse group, and it's not, the truth is the truth. I'm not here to push a narrative. I'm not. I'm here to push the truth. If the truth was that niggas wasn't shit, it'd be a lot easier because I could be straightforward. Niggas ain't shit. This is what niggas need to do. What do you want to do? You not? It's very simple. Very simple indeed. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So anyway, what we're going to talk about today is two topics. We're going to talk about the Joe Biden, Glorilla visiting the White House. Because y'all know that I think that chick has Down syndrome, like real talk. Real talk. Apparently, somebody must have coached her and told her that them interviews got her looking retarded. And people are really starting to think you're retarded. Like, you autistic. Because apparently, because I'm not going to lie, it seems like she done tightened it up a little bit. As far as not looking like she's just like she's autistic, and nothing against, you know, the autism. I deal with, I know what functional mental health is. I deal with, you know, my aunt that has mental health issues. But I'm just saying, like, this is what the standard is. And so apparently, so I'm not gonna lie, it seems like she done tightened it up a little bit as far as how she don't pretend, because it's the city girl stuff, and then it's like, yo, how is this even being put online in a serious podcast or a serious thing? Like, how seriously? Because people have had to be saying that, because it seems like she's not on saying some of the goofy stuff she used to say, like stuff like, yeah, I used to steal. Because even when Cardi B say stuff, Cardi B has this certain cadence, the way she says it, to where you pretty much assume she's playing. You know, so you don't never take what she's saying serious, versus with Glow. I'm gonna just call her Glow, because I can't stand calling no bitch Glorilla. I dated a chick named Gloria, so I can't stand that shit. That is, and she's very attractive. Ended up marrying a white man. But anyway, that's Ohio for you. But anyway, that is a waste. But anyway, yeah, so if Gloria is her real name, like, I get why somebody might think, oh, call myself Glorilla. No, that was fucked up. That's no. Somebody should have stopped that. Somebody should have stomped that out. You know, no. But anyway, shout out to Isaiah's Flowers with the $20 super sticker. Much appreciated, man. It looks like the first time I'm seeing you donate, so I appreciate it. Love. Obviously, I love my consistent folks in my day ones. Shout out to Mojo, Vacanis, Dumba, Boko, James, Busy. Y'all know who you are, or you all are. Ningo with the British Pound. Y'all know who you are. Always love to see new folks as well. Whether y'all do $2 or $20 or even more, always appreciate it. Make sure y'all support that Cash App as well. And so, yeah, so we're not even gonna jump. If y'all want to check that out either after this or even during this and speed through it real quick so you get what I'm ranting about, you can. But also shout out to Compassionate Call Outs. I was going through his shorts. I mean, he does a really good job with the shorts. Y'all definitely should support his shorts. They're only like really a 30-second commitment, most of them. You know, support them. Always, when y'all watch these shorts, always watch them, like them, comment on them. You know, I think a lot of them are more shareable. You know, I got to start presenting better so I can, you know, y'all want to take me and put them on the shorts, you know, better. But yeah, he does a very good job pooling a lot of different folks, whether it's me, BGS, you know, Pimp God, you know, a couple of different people. So anyway, shout out to him with that. Especially another thing, if y'all got some good, if y'all hear us and we say some good stuff that y'all hear on a replay, make sure y'all timestamp that in the comments, because usually we can probably make that a short. Not saying you have to do it, but it would help. That being said, all right, let's jump into this. Anton did a video, as he does with his live streams, where he'll cut them up like the Lapeef way. I'm gonna call it that. And this video was talking about, you know, it had Candace Owens in the thumbnail. It was talking about women are selfish. Basically a play on Candace Owens, you know, showing up to Fresh and Fit. And, you know, she's making the rounds and basically checking these chicks. And it was an interesting interaction in it of itself, with her talking to this, you know, Keisha. Let's just call it for what it is. This Keisha, this Keishan, as I used to call it. And you know, a lot of these women think that if they just say something, it's just gonna make sense because they say it, and they really talk outside of both sides of their ass. I mean, for real. She was literally saying, and the reason why I bring that interaction up is because that was the first thing that was played. Then they went into the conversation. And in that conversation, if those women didn't say the same thing, even though both of them, that one chick was more of a hood chick, the other chick not as much, the other chicks, and there was a black chick, dark skinned chick on the lower left that was speaking straight facts, but the other light skinned chick, the busted chick, they were on some straight BS. And so here's the thing. The crazy part about it is they were talking about, should you put a man first? And these women automatically, when they hear that, you can literally see the triggering, the dark side of the force, the triggering, the color purple narrative. You literally can see the chemical reactions in their fucking head go off. It is that predictable at this point. And they all do whatever female babble, because that's what it is. They think what they're saying makes sense, but it's really bitch babble. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like, it's this color purple narrative mixture of color purple, ain't I a woman, intersectionality, I don't want to be a slave, I'm not doing that. And what makes it so bad is one of those chicks was actually married. They was actually saying that. So the first chick that talked to Candace Owens was really talking about, you know, how basically she's on some, I'ma get you, you go get yours, so I'ma get mine. And what's crazy is this speaks to the type of men, the first chick in the initial interaction on Fresh and Fit, that speaks to the type of dudes you dealing with. See, the problem is when you deal with dudes that you like them more than that's really what that is. You're dealing with dudes that you like them more than they like you. Because any dude that, let's say the dudes that like you think they're dusty or they're not this or they can't give you a lifestyle. So if a dude is dealing with you that's either on the come up or from a looks basis, you like him, he can get you or greater. And ironically, Nate kind of spoke on this a little bit when he came up, I think on the stream. You know, when you hear that, when I did my stream, when you deal with that, then these chicks act like chihuahuas. They get real insecure. This is why they use the word insecure, because they're perpetually insecure. They get real insecure. They want to know what you're doing because they know you can replace them. And quite frankly, they may like you, but they can't handle that. They can't really deal with that. So they're in this kind of like, you know, them little chihuahuas where they're just always shaking. Like they're shaking for no reason. You want to look at this white chick like, what, do you do something to this dog behind the scenes? Because why is this animal just consistently shaking like somebody, they know they owe somebody money or something. That's how the black women are. And this is why they always, and white women use the term insecure as well, but black women really do too. But this is why they do it. Because they know they're punching above their weight, deep down. And they know that dude can replace them or cheat on them. Because that's what's happened before. Because the way these women are, they either give everything to dudes that pretty much, you know, they like, and the dudes they don't like, they just disrespect absolutely. There is no in between with a lot of these chicks. And I'm talking about from a looks basis. And then if they're with you because of money, well, they don't respect you. They're just going to extract. They don't respect you for your money. They just extract everything for you because they see you like a trick. And they almost believe you deserve to get played for that. So they're sitting here. So basically, so when you hear them and they talk, you know, as if, you know, they go into these relationships with this mentality. This is not a mentality that they get, you know, like on the back end because they were done wrong. No, they go in, like, it gets to a point where they go into these relationships like that. And my thing is, And then they wonder why dudes are really just got them on side piece duty, or they may call you their girlfriend. This is what most dudes do, especially the young dudes, but millennials did this too. What dudes do is they put you in this state of you in a situationship. They don't. It's what they call it. It's an ambiguous relationship. That it's speaking female language. It's an ambiguous. You're right about the mediocre box too. It's an ambiguous relationship. It's an ambiguous relationship, right? And the thing about, by the way, Kang, the thing about mediocre box is if you get box, then that crap is really mediocre. And so, yeah, that people forget that. But whatever. But it's that plus you can take care of yourself. You don't need a chick for a place to stay. But whatever. But the thing is, well, I lost my train of thought. But when you're punching above your weight, oh yeah, they go into relationships with this mentality. And they'll say, well, that's not true. No, after a couple of relationships and you've been played or whatever, and then you go into it with this mentality. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What happens is dudes will put you in a perpetual state of situationships. Basically, an ambiguous. It's not really. All relationships are relationships, but it's like an ambiguous relationship. Meaning, well, what are we? Well, and then they'll basically kind of push that to the wayside because at the end of the day, they know you're not going nowhere, or they don't care if you do. They really don't. Because if you mad, they put you on this, you're gonna be mad, but you'll come back later bullshit. You'll deal with whatever, because you already probably dealing with multiple dudes. You're asking these questions as if you're really committed like that. And what women don't they love to talk about the law of attraction, but they never like to acknowledge that you attract who you are. So if you're in this state, it doesn't matter the reason or what you've been through. This is what you're bringing to. These are going to be the type of cycles you repeat over and over and over again. And you're saying the men are the issue. The men are just a reflection. The men are a symptom. Your mentality is the root cause. And because, as the women say, you don't get healed because you use sex as like a vice, y'all, that just completely scrambles y'all. That's really what it is. And so I say all that because when you get to the situation with Fresh and Fit and you see it on their face, whether it's the bull ring, whatever, the I'm an independent woman, I am a wild female starter kit, which is the bull ring, tattoos on the face, mad tatted up. Like, there's a certain tolerance I have for tattoos depending on where they are. But when you start getting mad tatted up, you're basically saying I need to be broken in. And women like to talk this shit. Like, oh, well, I need a strong man. Understand, any man can knock your ass out. I don't know why y'all be out here thinking that it's beyond a man's capacity to put your head through a wall. Even quote unquote weak men choose to not do that. So what happens is under this establishment that men are not gonna knock you out, then it's all of this hula hoop jumping that we got to do in order to prove that we're a man versus the dudes that y'all are just sexually attracted to, which are not alphas, by the way. And a lot of dudes, these dudes are not alphas. An alpha is a man that other men will follow. An alpha is not necessarily a man that females just lust over. That's not necessarily an alpha. That's why when you all, after the lust is done, you all end up in these effed up situations because you all mistake like looks for actual power. In human history, the people that had the most power are not necessarily the strongest people. They're not necessarily the physically strongest people. The people that can actually move the most people to do something. I don't understand. Like, motherfuckers got this warrior shit, and then they wonder why they're in the situations that they're in the long run. So going back to that, we go to the actual conversation where Anton didn't talk. He just asked the question. He asked, are women selfish? Or the question that they asked was, do you believe a man should be put first in a marriage? And one of the women said yes, the first two women said no. And it was in their reasons that they said no that was crazy to me. They were giving, first of all, the one chick wanted to bring up the children, which is what a lot of women do. This is single mother and mentality. And yeah, they will probably get a divorce if she thinks she can do better. I'm sure that's coming. But I can't prioritize a man first because you either supposed to prioritize the children or prioritize a man. That's not really what men have in mind when they say that. That's an excuse that you use in order to justify, doing your own thing. Because it sounds bad to be on some I'm independent stuff. The reality is men are not saying to put them over children. That's not what men say. And I know she knows that's not what we're saying when we say that. And so the way she was talking throughout the video, it's like you can't be meaning the same thing that a man says when they say it. You can't be mean. You don't know, and so what it is, this is what I'm talking about when I tell y'all, when you have women that are around other women that are like this, even if they're married, they are a problem. They can be a problem. I don't know if I'm gonna do a play-by-play. I'm talking about it right now. And typically when I do that, I don't do play-by-plays. I could have, I just didn't feel like it. Especially since I already seen the video. But also I wanted to do this video too because this is why y'all wonder why men are not trying to get married like that. You wonder why the quote-unquote red pill says what we say. This is a chick that is married and this is a chick that does not work. I want you to understand that. That's a chick that is married and that is a chick that did not work that was saying that. Now, to be fair, the dark-skinned black woman is very attractive, by the way. She countered her. Now, you had a more brown-skinned chick. You had an ugly dark-skinned chick. You had an attractive dark-skinned chick. And I'm not saying that because I don't think dark-skinned women will be attractive. I'm just saying because that's who's on the show. And then you had the rest of them were dudes. And so the dude in the end of the video had a really, really great point. And then the other, but it was mainly the chicks talking. And the other chick was mostly talking from, this is the role, this is like Christ has as the role. And she was explaining it in practical terms. I'll give her that. But that's kind of where she was on. Meaning, this is what you do. And yeah, if you're picking a guy that's doing, and this is obviously all predicated that he's doing what he's supposed to do. This is all predicated on that, right? No man is telling you to get involved with bad leaders. The problem is if you get involved with a dude that's not doing what he's supposed to do, it's because you like how he looks. And let's just call it like that. It's just like when a one man gets with a stripper or a porn star. Dudes don't really respect that. We know why you there. Dudes don't be like, yeah, And so this is why dudes like Paul George and Drake get clowned for stuff like that. Like you got her pregnant, you shot the club up with that? Like, that doesn't get respected. Nobody says, oh, she's bad. Oh man, I feel sorry for you, Paul. No, like, Paul, you're an idiot. That's what you shot up the club in. That's called accountability. And at the end of the day, Paul George married that shit. And Drake had to do what he had to do too. Because Drake was low-key denying his son. Because he was embarrassed. And you should be. You're an idiot. But at the end of the day, he was forced to do what he had to do. His own family low-key forced him to do it. And quite frankly, you playing. Same thing with Paul. Paul gave the chick $2 million to Paul literally gave that chick $2 million to get a divorce. And I think she was also, both of them are like Hispanic. By the way, get a divorce, and they didn't get a divorce, and you end up marrying her anyway. I mean, I guess cheaper to keep her. You already $2 million, and what makes it so bad is you can't even. What makes it so bad is I would have petitioned to say I gave her $2 million. That's gonna count towards his child support. He ended up marrying her, and it is what it is. So this idea that like men, and keep in mind these are multi over 10 million. Over 8-figure millionaires. Some of them 9-figure. Drake is a 9-figure guy. So these people are cajoled in doing what they're supposed to do. But you got these chicks that they be really like, it don't matter how they look. They can be busted. They can be busted. They can be fours. You got fours talking like they're sevens. Oh, I'm not now. One thing I'll give that chick that was really talking shit about she, when you look at the day-to-day stuff, it looked like she's doing stuff. But the thing about it is, really what it sounded like to me is she don't have a lifestyle. And these women believe that if you get married, you're supposed to have a lifestyle. You're not supposed, that's not, marriage is not supposed to, you're not supposed to have a lifestyle. Unless you're like a 7 at best, and that's the lowest. You're not, this idea that you're gonna get with a guy that you're sexually attracted to for real and you're gonna get a lifestyle, I don't know I don't know who's lying to y'all. But this is why, again, this is why if you sit there and you marry somebody like this and you don't vet these people, you're a fool to think they're gonna change. Women don't get better in marriage, they get worse. So then you're already started, because you should hear how, like, no, you shouldn't prioritize a man. Okay, so ask it this, and what he should have did, what Fugazi would have did, shout out to the Fugazi podcast, what he would have did was this. He would have asked, do you believe that men should prioritize women in a relationship? He would have asked that first, and then he would have asked the other. It gets hot. That's what that is. And I actually just had a really great idea. I'm gonna get one of them cup holders. I'm gonna get one of them cup holder phone holders. And I'm gonna go ahead and buy one of those. And that way it doesn't have to be directly on the windshield. I think that's what's doing that. Yeah, make sure y'all refresh it, y'all can hear it. But like I was saying, you got dudes that think that they can change these women. These women will grow into motherhood. They'll grow into loving, the married. That's not what it is, because that's not the culture outside of your household is way too strong. And it's pulling them into leaving the relationship. And these women, I mean, you can look at Tia Mowry and saw what happened with that. That chick literally was 43 years old. She was never known, like, they were always cute in the face, but they were never like Tia and Tamara were okay. They were attractive, but they were never the kind of attractive, like, y'all need to get married. Y'all are not the type to be out here. Y'all are not in the street. I don't know who. And then she's 43, and then she's every bit of 43 with her body and everything. And she really out here, like, just being retarded. And so, press 1 if y'all can hear me. Press 1 if y'all can hear me. And so what happens is that, everybody likes to make, and another thing too, shout out to Dr. Thunder. He was doing a video about, this Christian, talking to the other dude, white dude is always on the whatever podcast, checking them chicks. And it was this, like, white Christian. And his white Christian was this anti-red pill. You already know the Christian dude to be on meat. And he always talk about, I don't know what it is with you diet Christians. All right, appreciate y'all can hear me. I don't know what it is with you diet Christians, you Coke Zero Christians. Also, by the way, since we're holding men accountable, shout out to Jalen Green on the Boston Celtics for making the relationship with Bernice Burgos official. You out here looking like a whole goofy. Like, seriously, you dating, that's crazy. That's crazy that y'all are that head. The fact that y'all get that head over heels over a 43-year-old, y'all, that is some of the most beta shit. Like, seriously. I guess what he thinks is he can't get a kid out of her. That might be true. That is some of the most beta shit. Like, y'all are literally upgrading side chicks in the first chick status. And maybe she can't have a kid, and that's the calculation he's playing. I'll give him that. But y'all, that's whatever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But, he said, that's how you know these chicks think they're forever 21, even with kids. Men are the ones who take all the risk. Exactly, they do take the risk in marriage. So, and women act like that's not the case. When you hear women talk about marriage, women are acting like they're the ones giving some shit up, because I guess they're giving up dick and giving up access to other men. And most of you chicks ain't got access to other dudes like that. Most of you chicks are not getting other dudes like that. Most of y'all ain't got this roster of dudes that's like all giving y'all all this stuff. Most of y'all ain't got it like that. But you would think they're taking all the risk with marriage. The way they talk about marriage, you would think it's men begging them to get married. That's what you would think. But they're the ones that's mainly upset about dudes going elsewhere. And that video was like a perfect example of the cultural decay. And like I said, that white dude, you have these dudes that'll sit here and they'll talk about, I'll share that video, shout out to Dr. Thunder's video, because they come in these diet Christians, these Coke Zero Christians, these fake, y'all are not real Christians. Y'all come in here, y'all virtue signaling, and y'all be on some, the red pill, the degen. And most red pill dudes are not degenerates. That's not really. And then let's define what that is. So you saying if you having sex out of marriage, that's degenerates? That sound like an incel to me. That sound like what an incel might say. And it's crazy. It's just too many. And they'll use, man, what about God? Is it like feminism did this, man? This wasn't. Y'all are focused on the wrong people. But it's popular to be against red pill, so you all are against red pill. No, they don't respect the sacrifice. Even what D.L. Hughley said, that they don't. And here's the thing, I'm not saying that every marriage is bad. I know people that are in solid relationships, but I'm gonna tell you something. Of the people that I know that are in solid relationships, even ones that they grew up with a stepfather, they're in solid marriages. I'm gonna tell you that the women were raised right, number one, and number two, that the clan has their stuff under control. There's expectations. Like they're not people. Let's just say the clan, the women. You need to look at a family and really be like, is the family conducive to a long-term marriage, or is this, or do you see women that have gotten divorces or remarried? You gotta pay attention to that, because that is an indicator. And a lot of dudes the biggest issue I got with dudes getting married, a lot of you niggas, y'all be getting married like y'all just got done watching a Disney movie that resonated with y'all. Y'all, it's like y'all haven't been really fleeced on game as far as marriage by married men, or the married men are basically cuffed. A lot of what inform my opinion on marriage are by dudes that are still married today, black men. So it's a lot of these dudes, it's like they just listen to Jagged Edge and they just caught the marriage bug or some shit. It's like y'all don't be vetting, or you're afraid of not like canceling the marriage, or y'all afraid of not canceling the vetting process. It's like, man, I love her and then I'm this far along, so we might as well just go get married and see what happens. Cool. You wanna risk your life doing that, that's you. Just don't say you didn't know. Don't say you didn't know. Don't say you're not aware of what's out here. And these dudes be still today getting blindsided. Blindsided. And it's not just black men, white men, blindsided. Yeah, do a virus scan. That's good. That's good. You got to look at their family. Their mother is an indicator of what they're going to look like down the road. They're contraindicator of what is being taught, said when you're not around, based on what they've done. Are you marrying into a coven? And I'm gonna keep it real. I know people that I could kind of call it a coven, but they don't act like a coven. They give the men, the men and I don't only say males, but the men in their family or the men that marry into them, they get what they need to get out the deal. But they don't look like but when I look at them, it ain't patriarchy. They not like some submissive creatures that if the men say jump out high. But they definitely, I'm not going to say they don't fulfill the cooperation thing and that they don't, they're not good helpmates. Also, all these chicks in this particular family I'm speaking of, other chick I dated, are very attractive. So they can kind of pull that shit. And the men that they date are, let's just say they date solid men. It's not even like you got to be rich or anything. It's kind of like what you see on some boule bougie shit, kind of like that. So I've seen that in a couple of different folks. So I know what that looks like. Like, that's why when BGS says if the men get what they need to get out of it, he doesn't have as big of a problem, and the boys get what they need to get, they don't have that big of a problem. That's how Jewish people run it. Real talk. Now, Jewish people, it's like what I'm talking about is not as female oriented, even with Jewish stuff. But yeah, so it's not a if or and, but like you gotta assess that. But dudes don't be assessing that shit. They don't, and you can tell. And when you say anything, they're just coming up. This is why, again, I push that shit to Anton, because y'all can't say that bullshit to Anton because he's been married. This is why I'll share certain people in certain situations, because like, yo, you talk to them and you hear what they're saying. Because you know what? They're saying the same shit. They've been married. They did this. They did it right. Now what you guys say? Well, because their argument wasn't standing on shit in the first place. I don't care. If you're not saying nothing bad, then you can say Jewish. And I'm not. And I typically don't say nothing bad about Jewish people anyway. Yeah. Exactly. No, I appreciate that. We piggyback off each other. But yeah, and you can't fix it. Don't look at it so much like bad software. Yeah, it's a good analogy. The idea of the software and the virus scan is good. But you got to look at it like a sexually transmitted disease. The problem is a lot of dudes, you can't truly heal from. I don't care what you say. Once you catch a sexually transmitted disease, you're marked. You can't. I understand everything ain't HIV. I understand there's medication for a lot of stuff. I don't care. You know good and well you would not knowingly deal with somebody that you knew had a sexually transmitted disease. You all know this. That's kind of how I look at certain pathologies. This is why I call it mentally. Damn. This is why I call it. I was wondering why y'all are trying to get into the other lane. This is why I call it mentally transmitted disease. Because a true mentally transmitted, because if you have a mental, as far as I'm concerned, that's why I love that show, Legion. Legion did a very, 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 very good job articulating this and showing this on film. Shout out to Aubrey Plaza. Shout out to the dude that played Legion. Shout out to the dude that played the Shadow King, Farouk. Very great cast all around. And they gave him quite a few seasons. Unfortunately, Fox got sold and it got canceled. Great show. I wish they would bring in one last episode on Hulu. Legion. And once you catch a mentally transmitted disease, I mean, I look at that almost like a sexually transmitted disease, especially if you've been socialized in it. So if your whole family is single motherhood, you would be a fool to think that woman is going to come out of anything but that. Oh, but what about the men? The difference in men is number one, men have to lead with tangibles. And there's consequences for men leaving relationships, especially if it's married. You solve a lot of problems if you marry before carry. This is what all of the, contraceptives was supposed to be for, to make it easier for women to do that. Because her stock, she know Kanye. Think Kanye was the best. Kanye was the best she was gonna do, and Wiz Khalifa was the best after that she was gonna do. She has never even approached any Kanye, and Wiz Khalifa. Kanye is way past Wiz Khalifa, understood. But I'm talking about, like, even if you take Kanye off the table, she's never come close to Wiz Khalifa. Kanye got lucky by not giving her a kid, and she's never been able to come close to Wiz Khalifa. Think of Wiz Khalifa was the best she could do childless. But I knew Amber was gonna break down bad. I'm sorry, thick, light-skinned chicks, that ain't it. Not long term. Not long term. Soon as they get at north of 35 or they have a kid, that's it. That's it. Yeah, what's up, E-Black? That's it. That is it. That is all she wrote. So anyway, that's that video. Check out that video. The next video thing I want to talk about is this. So apparently, Glow, aka Glorilla, went to the White House. There's a video I shared that talks about it. She kind of puts out the same opinion I have on it. WTF. So first Cardi B, then this chick. And I don't know what Joe Biden... what they'll say is they're trying to deal with the youth. Not even when you think of the age gap, we're talking about 50-year difference. But when it's crazy. Because I get it. She's going to go to the White House because why not? That's her argument. Whatever. But for him, like, it's... And I'm not even going to be, that's why you vote for Trump. It's the same thing with Trump selling these shoes. Although this is way worse, in my opinion. Because Trump is known to sell stuff in the brand. He's trying to make money. But even still, that's crazy. I really don't have the words. I don't have the words for that. I don't have the words. I'm not even gonna front. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. Trump would never, and this is how you know the Democrats don't plan on doing nothing for you. So people be like, well, you gonna vote for the Republicans? Okay, here's the thing about voting, the quote unquote vote for the Republicans BS. My thing is, you have a choice. You either vote D, don't vote, or vote R, or focus on your state. That's a fourth choice. I always tell people focus on what's going on in your city and your state, because that's the dynamics that is a little bit different. But also, so I would say do that before you just don't vote. Don't just vote for, pay attention to who you're voting for and what they're going to do in your local area, because that does matter. But my thing too is a vote. You got to understand, when you vote for the Democratic Party, everybody acts like you're voting against racism. That's what a lot of older black people think. I'm voting against racism. I'm voting for my right to vote. That's literally what they vote for. You also voting for the gay shit. It's a lot of stuff you're voting for that you don't agree with. And if they're not going to do nothing for you, well, why are you voting for that when they're not doing nothing for you in the first place? I don't understand that part. That's the part I don't understand at all. I don't get that at all. You're swallowed, as TD Jake said, all that other bullshit, and they don't do nothing for you. They don't even pretend like they're doing something. You're voting for the Democratic Party. You're also voting for all these immigrants getting just just drop. We're not even talking about like Ukraine or war-torn zones. They're just letting all these people in. They're literally, you're voting for them. You're literally voting for their ability to replace your vote. Because that is literally what they're doing. And notice how you don't hear no quote-unquote bootlick say nothing about that. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Yeah, my phone's gonna go off in a second. Politicians never reached out to the youth in the 80s and 90s when music was way more culturally impactful. Why start now? Because they know the youth don't. The youth was smarter back then. The youth, like Biden is doing that in order to just get cheap, easy votes. That's what that is. Oh, Biden talked to Glorilla. I might vote for him. That's what that is. Also, because she ain't gonna ask him nothing. That shit was retarded when I heard him say that. Shout out to Salty with the $20. Make sure y'all definitely support their channels and stuff. Exactly, because my thing is, man, y'all flooded them in here like that. Because when you got to really think about it. When you think about AI, you think about automation, you think about how much they flooding all these people in here. You think about how white people are going to start consolidating. They're going to start consolidating their stuff. So that redlining and all that still happens. They've already busted up your stuff. Then you busted up your own neighborhoods. Then you got to think about the fact that our culture is like in literally the worst state it has ever been in. And that includes in the crack era. So you don't have that cultural protection. Because our family, for 75% of black folks, they're just done. When you actually understand what's going on, it is really on some every man for yourself type stuff, for real. I don't think people really understand how bad it actually is. Yeah, man, I'm loving, it's 5:30. I can see it'll still be good. It's 7. I'm loving that. When you're voting for Democrat, you're voting for limousine liberal cities, SF, Portland, where the only blacks who live there are in projects and homeless. How is that vote? But they don't think about that. They don't think about none of that. And these people will be in California. They don't think about none of that. I'm not necessarily saying you vote Republican. Well, what's the solution then? The solution is if you're going to vote, black people should be showing up in the primaries, like in the Democrats, like religious right shows up in the primaries for Republicans. We should just be liquidating these people. These mofos should know you're only getting 2 years of that BS and you better go to another position because you're about to get liquidated. You're getting pulled out. You're not going to be there long enough to secure a job. We're not going to let you be there long enough. That's what they should do. They're not going to do that. Nope. They're not. Because black people don't pay attention to who they're voting for, which is why they do all the crap that they do. Yeah, it's not even that black people don't have culture. It's that it's decayed so bad. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I chipped my tooth a while ago. My back tooth. And I went to the dentist and they checked it. And it's chipped weird. But if you don't get a tooth fixed, this chip, and you just let that sit, that will decay your other teeth. That's literally kind of the situation that we're in. That's literally the situation that we're in, man, for real. Well, mama vote blue. I mean, my mom seriously rest in peace. My mom, we talk politics, but I was always very kind of careful with how I talk to politics with her, because there were just certain things that no matter what. And the truth is, my mom, one of the earliest books I read was, Miseducation and Negro, and it's a book she had laying around and she got. But the thing about it is, you have this kind of woman's empowerment, just like how you have this cultural Christian kind of stuff. You have this woman's empowerment side of the Democratic Party that's not really about policy. It's really just about women empower. It's not even about, women and other women take advantage of that. Yeah, so it's this kind of like fake limousine liberal BS, to where they're not really activists to get shit done. They're really just bullshit, for lack of a better term. So, hold on 1 second. Yeah. So anyway, so that's really what it is. That it's that woman's empowerment industrial complex bullshit, which at best they don't be doing nothing for nobody. They're just at worst. It's women talk about, I'm gonna get mine, and what the other black women don't understand about that is there's tiers to that. So they do the same thing the white women do, which is you got the higher tier black women, that top 10% that all of them pretend they get shit, or they got their networks, and then you got the rest of them that's just left out here looking stupid. Clutch says, at least in the crack era, you were able to go overseas, be seen with civil rights reverence. However, now that hood culture is damaging our reputation. People are now more wary of black men. I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm just gonna say it. That's where like you go overseas. If you're a light-skinned black dude, they probably gonna be on some. If you're a light-skinned black dude and you dress a certain type of way, meaning you don't have like the obvious hood cues, they'll probably put you in a different category, slightly. So you won't get that angst as quick. I don't think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I ain't been overseas in a minute, but you're not gonna get that angst as fast. Because that's already ingrained in them to kind of look at stuff from a color tier standpoint. I know that's how it was with me. I'm curious to what you think about that, Clutch. And I'm not saying dudes need to be all that's dark skinned dude. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying that's how they approach it, seeing it. But yeah, it really is. I mean, it's crazy. And here's another thing: the women, they when they look at what these crazy women are, they low key try to blame us for what they do too, as if, oh, well, why don't you control them? And it's funny because they be like, yo, y'all not gonna act like, why don't y'all control your chicks when they start doing the shit they doing? So yeah, it's crazy. But a lot of that is always a case by case basis. Yeah, but the problem is the culture. See, the excuse that they'll give is poverty. That's the excuse that they have. They'll say, well, what's our excuse? We're in America. That's their argument on that. That's the argument they always try to go to on that. Every culture, well, we're in poverty. What's your excuse? That's what they'll say. He said, black Brock delusions, fans of more excuses. The thing is, every culture has hood culture. They're not exempt either, and some of these dudes continue to engage in it overseas and those. Yeah, and that's the problem. That's kind of one of the biggest gripes I have about Passport Bros. Is it ain't no if you're going over to me. I'm gonna just say this: if you go overseas and you're engaging in hood fantasies overseas, you a goofy. You a goofy. That is some you can't do it over here, so you do it over there type shit. That's what that is. And then that's when a lot of these dudes get caught up. And there's a lot of stuff that dudes be out that a lot of dudes be doing that it's like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's like, yo. And when you, and going back to what Clutch said, is when you do that, like when you do that stupid stuff, what you're doing is you're perpetuating the stereotype. The reality is you represent black men when you're overseas. I don't care if you all don't think that's fair. It's the truth. And any person that goes out here and tries to act like that's not true, you're an idiot. And this is why when a lot of these dudes get caught up, I don't really care. Like, it's a post going around, which this dude didn't do nothing wrong, but it's a post of a dude in India, a guy that's in India, and I guess all them people. I mean, this dude isn't even dark skinned like that. Like for them to do all this, literally, he's like the same skin tone as these Indians that went around them. And I wish they would have came at me like that. Like, real talk, I wouldn't have just looked at him. I would have told him, look, you better get out of my face. But I'm technically lighter than these people. And so they probably wouldn't have did that to me, ironically. And then they just said something really off the wall. You shouldn't be here. And this. It was retarded what they were doing. These Indians were doing. They're like, you nigga. I'd be like, dude, you're not white. You think I give a damn about, like, and that's why I always say to, like, minorities, they don't know how to take that. You think I give a, like, dude, understand, I only give a damn, like, it don't hit the same when you say it. It don't. And they always get mad about it. It's funny because they don't know how to take that, or they get mad about it because they realize, like, you're not white. That's, no. You think you not an N-word? You think you not an N-word? They got names for you too, dumbass. But whatever. And it's as if it's a billion. And it was crazy to me is it's a billion of you all. It's a billion. It's like 1.3. Like I think India is ain't India the most populated country now? They got the largest population. So it's impossible. Like black people would have to, and sir, black men don't be wanting y'all women like that. The problem is because Indian women don't really eat meat like that. Their skin, they need to be mixed. Indian women need to be mixed. Shout out to Trini chicks, Trinidad. Y'all need to be mixed with something. Dudes don't be wanting Indian chicks like that. There's exceptions, obviously, because you're dealing with a billion people, so there's gonna be exceptions to these rules. But dude, black men ain't really chasing. And so it's like, why are you even mad? That makes no sense. And Indians were in Africa before the Chinese. So it's like, what are you mad at? Like, what? You really think motherfuckers are coming to your country? Like, I got a lot of respect for India, but India got some shit they need to work on too. But long story short, everybody in the chat was like, oh, F India, blah, blah, blah. And my thing is, yeah, they're goofy, and India is not like my top place to go for a variety of reasons. But, it's like these niggas like, yeah, do you like black men? Do you like black men? It's like, yo, stop it. Like, like this is anger for what? Okay, they did what they did. They didn't hurt the dude, because that could have happened. And it's like, it just some shit in the comments. Like, y'all got to do better. Like a lot of y'all, they claim this passport bro stuff. Y'all better. Y'all just do. It's too many people that are trying to shut what we're trying to do down for y'all to kind of be operating reckless, like for real. It really is. Like a lot of y'all are slipping, and y'all like we supposed to be the special forces. Y'all ain't that. Y'all ain't that. I'm gonna just say that. A lot of y'all ain't that, and you got a lot of dudes that they're just around. This is just another way for them to fire off what they want to fire off. They claim passport bro either to get a bag, or they claim passport bros because they know it aggravates black women. And I don't give a fuck about aggravating black women. I don't. My thing is y'all need black women. I always tell black women, like real talk, if I do a travel channel, once I start traveling, my travel channel isn't gonna probably be exclusively just men. Now, am I gonna be promoting, men need to travel with women? Hell to the motherfucking no. No, I'm not, and I'll say why. I'm like, it's one thing if you got a husband, cool. It's one thing if you're in a long-term relationship, okay. But just dudes need to be just taking women? Nope. I won't be team that. And if a woman gets mad at me for it, I'm gonna say, give me the value add of a man taking a woman out, cause that's babysitting to me. Unless she gonna pay for her own stuff, which she ain't. She gonna get over out there and then put you in a position where you either do it or you gonna look stupid. That's what's gonna happen. No. And dudes ain't no point dudes pooling money together and go with chicks. You might as well go with a dude who's gonna pull your money together. So I'm not gonna lie, but I've never been, and a lot of y'all got this, when black women travel, oh my God, black women don't have the same abilities they have in the United States because all that is backed by the United States government. The stuff that's backed by the United States government that black women can pull, they can't pull overseas at all. So I don't even understand. So, and them lying and saying all this crap about you, I mean, they can do that, but eventually their behavior is going to catch up with them. And so I don't worry about that, because that's why our space even exists, to counter that. See, that's a problem if we never counter it. And it doesn't help if y'all get in trouble on doing dumb stuff yourselves. And also the thing I don't worry about that is because the women are out here doing a lot that we don't expose them on. So they got more to lose than we do. India, I mean, like I said, everybody, I choose not to, because, I've grown up with Indians. I know how they can be. And what dude said about when they get in a group, you got to watch that shit, that's facts. Individually, they cool. You put them in a group, that's a different animal. You think white thing is a problem. It can be an issue. Yeah. That group think with them, That's their greatest strength, but you don't want to be on the wrong side of that. You don't. That's why they can stay over there. But yeah, paternity fraud is next big conversation. Yeah, Obsidian was exposing those women and it got banned quick. Yeah, Obsidian probably should have did that on Rumble. But you live and you learn. The narrative from the community is that men in other countries will attack you if you're seen with... Well, that's a lie. That's a lie, because there's not enough black men traveling to do that. There's not enough black men traveling to do that. And here's a secret. They're never going to attack you for dating the darker of their women. It's going to, yeah, you go to Colombia and you speak Spanish, you're dating black women. Oh, yeah, the white Colombians is going to lose it. No. And the black dude Colombians are like, the families are like, shit, that's money. And even if you date the regular Colombians, some of them are getting paid off of that. That's not the issue. They always try to make it that because they're just trying to low-key scare you. But that's not that because, you know, I understand from a common sense standpoint why somebody would think that, but that's not really how it goes down. Not typically. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you out here throwing money in the air like you don't care, to me, you're disrespecting, you know, the life that they got to live. That's, to me, a different situation. Which I would never co-sign that. Man, what the fuck? Y'all pray for me. I'm going to Church's Chicken for the first time. Going to the hood. See, I should go to one in Durham. They got a better one than in Durham. How much time I got? Do I really? Man, I wish I would go all the way out there just for some fucking Church's Chicken like a true Negro. Fucking old ass folks. Xantos, Passport Bros with the 5. Passport Bros, the majority of Passport Bros are playing ghetto fantasy overseas. That's why I keep healthy distance from them. No beef, just business. Absolutely. Shout out to Marty with the Jobless Gentleman. Yeah, like when it, like I do fuck with these people and I support the movement. Yeah, but at the same time, my thing is like understand that people that I deal with, it's gonna be their own group, and y'all know who y'all are. So it's gonna be consistency in what you see. It's not gonna be, okay, somebody does something and then I gotta worry about somebody doing something stupid. And then I gotta, now that shit's rolling off on me. And that ain't no diss to Austin, because he ain't the only one doing that shit. He just the one that got caught the worst. But my stuff is gonna be my stuff. Like I said, I come from, when it came to me traveling, I came to where everybody traveled. Now, yeah, you got, what is it? I forget what it's called. Travel Noir, but whatever. You got a lot of that female BS, and I'll check that every time. Because my thing is, at the end of the day, if y'all are operating out here like y'all, once you leave overseas, I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing here. So if women want something, you're gonna have to give value to get it. You just are.